It is actually surprisingly simple to name ionic compounds. The name of the compound is the cation name followed by the anion name. The trick to naming ionic compounds is to know the names of ions. You can recognize an ionic compound because it typically has a metal in its formula. As we remember cation and anion names from the first part of this chapter, let's remember that the name of a cation depends on whether it has a constant or variable charge, and the name of an anion depends on whether it's monoatomic or polyatomic. As a reminder, the cations with a constant charge are formed from the alkali metals, alkaline earth metals, aluminum, zinc, and silver, as well as the polyatomic ion ammonium. All other metal cations we will consider to have a variable charge. Cations with a constant charge have the same name as the element. Cations with a variable charge include the elemental name and the charge of the cation expressed as a Roman numeral. For example, the calcium cation, which always has a +2 charge, is called calcium, while the sodium cation, which always has a +1 charge, is called sodium. On the other hand, copper with a +1 charge is called copper 1, where the 1 is expressed as a Roman numeral 1 in parentheses, and lead with a +4 charge is known as lead 4, where the 4 is expressed as a Roman numeral 4 in parentheses. Anions always have the same charge and are either monoatomic or polyatomic. Monoatomic ions have a charge based on how many electrons are needed to attain a noble gas configuration. Monoatomic ions are named after the elemental root and the suffix "ide." For example, the anion formed from the sulfur atom is called sulfide and has a -2 charge, while the anion formed from a chlorine atom is called chloride and has a -1 charge. The polyatomic ions don't follow a systematic pattern, so you must memorize their formulas and respective charges. Two examples of polyatomic ions include hydroxide, made of 1 atom of oxygen, 1 atom of hydrogen, and a charge of -1, as well as sulfate, which is comprised of 1 sulfur atom, 4 oxygen atoms, and a -2 charge.